with Sheila and Teresa. Hi there, I'm Teresa.
Hi, I'm Sheila.
Hi, welcome to Let's Talk About Weddings with Teresa and Sheila. And hi, I'm Sheila.
Hi, I'm Teresa. We've got some special guests today, Sheila.
Yes, we do. So would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, I'm Jenny from Jenny Petit Photography. And I'm Taylor Gonzalez. I'm her second shooter.
So tell us a little bit about your story. Where, because I know you are not a local Southern girl.
Oh, I'm definitely not.
Okay.
The Southern humidity, not quite used to the Southern barbecue, but we won't talk about that.
Wait, North Carolina has the best barbecue. I wasn't born here, but there's Western barbecue, Eastern barbecue, and Eastern barbecue wins.
No, really, I digress.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I agree, but that's okay. I'm so sorry.
You have vinegar base or ketchup base, and in North Carolina, vinegar base wins.
Okay, we'll let you go with that one. Yeah. So Sheila's gonna have to make his little barbecue. Maybe yours is good. So that to be determined. Yeah. So I have been a wedding and lifestyle photographer in California for the past 10 years. And my family in December decided it was time for a major life change, and we uprooted the whole family, and now we are located within Wayne County, so not far from here. Yeah, so I am actually still, I say that I'm a photographer from coast to coast now because I still fly back for all my clients that I've made over the last 10 years, and I shoot weddings there, and I'm establishing myself here as.
And what made you choose Eastern North Carolina?
So my brother moved to Sanford.
Yeah, we're sisters, but
Okay, yeah.
But we say it's always fault. We all kind of needed a change.
Yeah,
Out of California. Yeah. And so he started the whole voyage and he moved to Sanford. And then we came and visited last summer and we loved it and came back, put our house on the market, and we moved, and then my parents moved with us, and then they came in February.
So you got the whole family here.
Family, yeah.
so we moved from North Carolina to North Carolina, and then the next year our daughter came, and then 2 years later our son came, and so can't get rid of our family.
Yeah, I know. No, you can't. And more are actually coming. Her mother-in-law just sold her house and moved out here.
Really?
Yeah, and me brother-in-law.
Well, when you've got children, I think it's so important, isn't it? And so lovely to have a family with you.
Like there's 13 cousins with me, my sister. I have 4. She has 4. My brother has 5 kids, and so they all just grow up together. And yeah.
So I'm always curious because my family came to North Carolina, specifically Goldsboro, because of military base. My dad was Air Force. And so I'm always curious when I ask people that choose to move here, like, what made you choose, like, North Carolina? And everybody thought I was an ROTC. They thought she's going to get in the military, she's going to travel, because that's my favorite pastime.
Yeah.
And I love Wayne County. I know it's funny because I really like it here. Like, we're an hour and a half from the beach, we're an hour from Raleigh, a couple hours from the mountains, and we have amazing mountains here. We have beautiful beaches here.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of small towns. I'm thinking, especially in this area, we're a lot of little small towns in North Carolina. And I really love North Carolina.
Yeah, no, I really do. Your beaches,
We're
much better
beach
in California. You actually can go in the water. This summer, we've gone at least 4 times. So that's wonderful. Yeah, we love this. I mean, we're in Fremont on the outskirts. So we're not actually in little small town. We have some property. That was always my family's dream. And now my husband has 38 chickens. We have 2 goats. We have
got a donkey.
Donkey, a mini.
I want a donkey, and I'm a city girl.
Petite, and my dream is to have a petite farm. The mini Highland cow, the mini donkey, and all the little mini things that I don't know what you do with them, just other than take cute pictures and enjoy them. Maybe one day. Yeah, so maybe one day.
Yeah. So I'm going, because we could talk for hours.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start us on what would be something that you would want brides to know about, like, and not even specifically with just you, but with any photographer. When a bride is calling you and approaching you, what would you want them to know or ask you as a photographer?
So one of the questions that I actually asked, so if like once they filled out a booking form, I set up a phone meeting. It's really important for me to talk to them personally instead of just over email or texting. So one of the questions that I initially asked is, what do you expect out of a photographer on your wedding day? Just to get a feel for, are you wanting someone really hands-on? Are you wanting someone behind the scenes? I tend to be more involved. I feel like the photographer and the wedding coordinator are really the two people who are there and in charge most of the day with the flow of the day and timeline. So I've been doing this for 10 years and I have over 200 weddings that I've shot. So I kind of know I have some tips and tricks of.
She's acted as everything. Last minute florist, last minute everything.
And she's the seamstress. So when we shoot weddings together, if there's like
I just love it when they hear that they have it.
yeah, so she's been like massages. I don't know what it is. Boutonnieres. I'm sorry, boutonnieres. It's something that we always end up helping assist put on. So I love the little new pocket boutonnieres. Those are the best.
My favorite. Shout out.
Best things. Yeah, because those poor groomsmen trying to put on the boutonnieres. Yeah. So. So I guess for me, like every photographer is different and not all, I'm not for every bride and groom. Like you need to form a relationship. So my whole business in California was based on referral. I am really awful at social media. And so mine was based on referrals and establishing a relationship. Most of my clients now were dear friends. We've become friends. I've watched their families grow. We've captured the wedding, the newborn, and from on. And then from there, I get referrals. And so that's how I really built my business is on a relationship. So for the bride and groom, that's where I feel like that first initial conversation kind of helps to see if we are a good match, if our personalities work together.
One of the things that you find they ask you right away, is it more about pricing or about style, or if you use filters? Like, what do you find that they're asking you the most about?
So oftentimes, the first initial email or contact, I'm really upfront with my pricing. So I send over a price sheet with it that goes over my whole packages. So they already have that when I'm talking with them. So it's usually not priced. I usually ask them, have they viewed my portfolio? Because I want to make sure I am not a dark and moody photographer. And if that's what you're looking for, I can definitely recommend someone for you. Or like I'm a mixture between traditional and documentary photography where I do believe there's a spot for pose pictures, but I also love the in the moment to capture the emotions. So I guess I definitely will discuss that with them. And if they're more completely hands-off, then maybe there's someone else out there who would be a better
I find most of the couples know what they're looking for, because something that we get all the time is, I've never planned a wedding before, so I don't even know where to begin, what to ask, how to even go about looking for the right person.
Yeah.
So do you think that we need to guide them a bit more in what they actually...
Definitely. Yeah. So I actually asked them, Pinterest is a thing. That was not a thing when I was planning my wedding, or there's so many tools online now. So usually I ask them to send me if they've seen some inspo pictures, because that gives me a feel of their look, the feel of what they're wanting. One of the questions I ask is, where is your venue and what are you most excited about that venue? Because that gives me a feel for their style. If it's rustic, they're wanting, it gives me an idea of the type of wedding they're planning. And if they're at the very beginning, like I just had a meeting with the bride and groom who got engaged 3 weeks ago. They didn't have a venue. They didn't even have a date. But because I was a referral, they knew they had seen my work previously. So I usually direct them, if you haven't seen my work, please let me look at my Instagram and my social media, even though I don't update it very much, or I can send you.
Yeah, I understand when it comes to social media.
Yeah, I can send you full wedding gallery so you can see what my wedding coverage is from start to finish. So, yeah.
See, I'm the opposite on Pinterest.
Okay.
And I love Pinterest for inspiration, but then they'll come in and they want this specific flower or this exact tablecloth, and I preach to them. Photographers use filters. There's no this color blue or this color vanilla. Like, they don't always exist. So for me, when it comes to color hues, that's where a lot of, like, they want that specific color suit for their groom, and it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And so that's why I always tell them, I said, don't look at the inspiration. Don't look at the color.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I definitely feel that their expectations from Pinterest are so unrealistic.
And typically out of most people's budget.
Photography thing.
Yeah.
When they'll say, I want this created, well, if your bridal party don't look like those people,
Yes, you're
not going
right.
to get
Yeah.
that recreated, are you really?
Yeah.
Or if your bridal party are really introverted,
Yes.
you're not going to get the extroverted pictures. Or like me, I hate having my picture taken.
Yeah.
So if you had a bride who was really introverted or not comfortable in front of the camera, they're not going to recreate those things. So talking about that, how do you get bride? Do you have tips and tricks? We always have trouble with those words. And how to get your couples to relax and feel comfortable. Do you recommend like portraits beforehand, engagement shoots?
Yeah, we like to try to encourage like pockets of time within the flow of the wedding to kind of have like one-on-one time between bride and groom. And for me, I do engagement sessions with most of my couples, because then that's a way for us to see how we work together, and then also for them to get comfortable just being, I mean, it's not a normal thing. Now everyone uses phones, so having a big camera in front of your face can be quite awkward. So, and I definitely have, so I have things where we have a conversation. So I like to make my photo shoots like engagement sessions, like it's a date in between the couple where they're interacting with one another. I especially love, like, one time we've done a picnic where they're just in the moment and capturing them in the moment, and then that gets them relaxed. So wedding days can be stressful, and I did have a groom this last summer who was a little more awkward in front of the camera. So getting them movement, doing things, talking amongst the groomsmen, just interacting with the bride and not focusing on me. That's how I usually distract them.
Yeah, you let a camera get in front of me, and I could be all lively, and then it's like awkward. I am so awkward in front of a camera.
Oh, yes.
Me
too.
You're terrible.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable. I'd be a horrible.
Poses that you are so bored seeing now that have been, I mean, it's
Yeah, we always like the dirt too.
favorite.
Yeah.
One that I hate.
Yeah.
Just the veil shot. I hate veil shots.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it has been done to death now. The first
So many.
was so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
And now, I mean, you have to get so up close and personal with them anyway, don't you? It's
Yeah.
kind of,
All right in their place.
I am, but I am so over the veil shot. And do you know the other one that I've learned to hate this summer? And it's still really vogue. And I'm sorry, brides and grooms, if you let it. I'm so sorry, but I hate it. The dip halfway down the aisle.
Oh, so I am.
See, now I love it.
I love it.
And
But I put it in a rehearsal.
But
Yeah.
I just think, oh, good God, come up with something unique. Let's do something a little bit different.
Yeah. Okay.
Do
So
a swan.
yes,
Something.
yeah, that's fun.
And most of them don't practice the dip. So
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah, they need to practice for sure, especially if it's. But I love, because at that moment you can capture the guest view with the bride and groom because they're all looking. But another thing that we like to do is the reverse first kiss shot, where
Facing the audience.
so actually so that's why when you have two shooters, you can have someone from behind. So that way when they're doing the first kiss, you're actually capturing the guest.
The guest.
To the
Yeah.
point.
Now I would like that.
Yeah,
I think that's
love
really
that.
cool.
And it's like a silhouette shot. You just have to make sure the efficient moves out of the an efficient manner.
Well, no, it's got its conversations, isn't it? Beforehand.
Exactly, planning. Yes.
The other one that I hate, and actually I hate it on videos too, is when they walk in and all you've got is the bride's armpit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Do not,
That would be my luck. Like, that would be my luck of the main shot.
I hate those photos.
Yeah.
So just and I'm not a photographer, tired.
Yeah.
There's her opinion.
To me, the thing is, what's new and something that is a thing now is this unfocused. They want like the movement shots, but where people are
Like a
unfocused,
little
and that
blur.
kind of goes against. You want to deliver a sharp, nice, good image. Then for me, I've done that because some bride and grooms, that's just, they really want that, that movie feel and that look. Thanks to Pinterest, you're right.
But don't you think something like that will come in and go out?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I'm a blend of both. Like, I can do that for you and I can capture that for you. It's not my favorite. I won't But if that's something you really want, I will for sure do that for you.
Turned out really.
Yes, some of them do turn out really nice. It's just not, it goes against what I should be delivering.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
it's easier with a bigger product.
Well, now I'm sitting here thinking, who was it that did it? Because it's very recent, and it was the bride with the bouquet, but it was a very good visual, but it was probably like this angle. And her bouquet went from her veil went from very thin out wide. And I thought, now that's a beautiful veil shot. Somebody just sent it to me as
like a tunnel. So
it was like where she was with the, it went like this.
focus on her, but you have the outside.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. And I've not seen that. Usually it's like covering of them. This one, she was clear view holding a bouquet. I'm going to have to go look on my phone and see who that was. Because when I saw it, I was like, yo, love that.
Yeah.
Love
The
that.
veil shot's always difficult. I mean, there's never no wind. There's never, right? There's bugs. It's like a bug net. So yeah.
But this one was outstanding. Now I'm gonna have to share it. I'm gonna find out whose it was and share it because I was like, wow. What about, do you have like, because this is as a planner, I'm like 30 days before you have to have your music list done with your DJ. I want your photography list done with your photographer. And a lot of DJs and photographers are like, oh, it could be like, I don't care if it's a week before. I'm like, yeah, no. My bride, I want everything done 30 days out where she is not stressing or having any last minute things. Like, I have happier brides when they are done like that.
Yep.
Do you have an online portal for them to do? Do you send them like a PDF? Like, how do you do yours? Like, what is your time frame with your bride about having everything finished?
Yeah. So when we do our initial consult, I go over a really rough draft timeline with them to give them an idea. A lot, like we had said previously, a lot of them have no idea because that goes along with them asking how many hours of coverage do you need. Some of them have no idea. So we do a really rough draft of that timeline. And then I say we always have a meeting 1 month before wedding day. And that's where I need your final shot list for family. So if I have any questions, we go over it. We have your final, if there's any of those shots that I really want to do this. And then we go over the timeline of the day. And make sure it's all solid. So that way, if I have questions or suggestions, or I talk directly with the wedding coordinator from there. But I definitely, for me, it's 1 month before is always my go.
So I do the timeline 60 days out. Okay. So all vendors that are included on the wedding, 60, I'm very thorough with that.
Good.
And so I send us 60 days out, and then they have like that 2 week to where, I need to come in a half hour later or two. Like some people want to come in at 9 a.m. So they're just there way early. So they can reach out. So 45 days out, our timeline's done.
Yeah.
And it's great because most photographers are like, hey, I'm not a couple micromanager.
Yeah.
Like when they're doing their makeup, I have a set time, like 12:30, 11, depending on what their contract is with their photographer. I make sure that bride knows you have to be ready at noon.
Yeah.
And then you can still be in your robe, but your makeup, your hair needs to be done. Yeah. So when that photographer can plan at noon, being in there and doing your final touch-up shot.
Yeah.
And from then, and if it's a 6 o'clock ceremony, that photographer has from then to 1 hour before to do whatever they want with the couple.
Yeah.
Only thing I ask is if they're leaving site or, if you're taking them, I go looking for them. Like, okay, where are they at? Where are they at? And I can't find them. And so I am not a micromanager that way. I'm like, you're paying for this photographer for you to get all these shots. Here's your time frame. You go for it.
Yeah.
And I'm making sure everything else is done in the time frame.
All the other things. Yeah.
So,
Like guidance do you have to give your couples with what their shot list might be, for example? Because again, if they've never done a wedding or they haven't been in many weddings, how much guidance do you feel? For example, if they wanted photographs with every uncle, every cousin, every niece,
it can be too much.
It can be too much. And do you sort of rein them in and guide them down?
Absolutely. So during that initial consult, what's next is I send them the rough draft timeline, and then I send them a generic shot list to give them an idea to work from. And then we also talk about, for like family pictures, I say we can get all those extra family members usually during the reception, or like a candid shot with them or something, instead of wrangling 100 people for family pictures. And that goes into what I like to suggest is they have a photo wrangler where they have designated the bride on her side and the groom on his side, an individual who knows the family and who doesn't need to be in the pictures, but who knows them and who can help organize and bring in those family members for the family pictures. So that way it goes really smoothly and really efficiently. It works.
That's the big thing. Like, we can call out names and stuff, but it's like, where's grandpa? We have to go get a drink. And then you wait. So somebody can wrangle the family members and such and bring them in so we can get that, the family photos done.
Do you find family photos now are becoming less of a thing, though?
Yes. Usually.
Do you love it?
I love it. Yeah. And usually it's more just immediate family, parents, maybe grandparents and siblings. And it's done. Yes.
Well, and I feel like you have 1 hour, and realistically, when I'm looking at the timeline, sometimes 50 minutes, because we need to give them 10 minutes to be able to use the restroom, touch up her makeup before she enters into, or I say she, both of them, before they enter into the reception. Yeah. So you've got such a limited amount of time, and I so frequently see photographers that are like, oh, I'm like 12 shots behind. And I'm like, what? 12 shots behind? And that happens sometimes before the ceremony. And then after, you even run into, well, hey, can I have an extra 30 minutes? I'm like, well, I've got dinner that needs to be served on time because that staff is going to have to leave by a certain time. And sometimes I wonder, is it the couple gets so excited over all of these options that they book too much? Or is it the photographer saying, okay, that's too much for the time frame, let's simplify it? That is one conversation that I don't know, because, I typically don't have that until at the moment. And I'm like, well, can you talk to them? Like, is it that important that they're going to lose some of their reception time because you've got to take them back out for 30, 45 minutes, And so, I wish brides would know that, for me, I think it's great to have them with your parents or your grandparents, but I would rather have my whole album, if I was a bride, like romantic or fun photos of me with my partner, right? Like, and I want great shots. I want to look great. I want them to be fun and unique. And I love the dusk photos.
So that's what I was going to say.
Golden hour.
It's a wonderful time when your wedding guests are occupied. Either they're eating dinner, is usually when I suggest, when dinner service is happening, or during open dancing. They won't notice you going out for 10, 15 minutes.
Right.
And when they're entertained, and then you have that time for those beautiful, it depends on the time of your wedding, obviously. When that will happen, but that is definitely strongly encouraged. So I definitely encourage that.
And then encouraging the timeline to slow down for the couple, not necessarily the entire wedding.
Right.
But you're having that intimate moment for yourself, because again, it's your day, and to slow down and just enjoy the moment. And then that's how they capture it.
Yeah. And that is often the pictures that end up, they love the most, because they're relaxed. The day, all the big things of the day are done. They've done all their performing they needed to do, and now it's usually that's the fun. The fun.
Well, the new trend for me is every single couple, I'm like, say, please, when we have the last guest out, is to have just a couple all alone. And it doesn't even, you don't even have to have your photographer in the room. DJ can cut the music on. I want everybody out. Photographer if they want it. And have that last 3 to 5 moments of their whole wedding day. That's the most romantic photo. Like, to me, I love that.
With the empty room
and just them.
It's done. Yeah. Another thing, I don't know if you've done it, it's along those lines, but before guests enter the reception room, have the bride and groom do a room reveal. When it's just the two of them. Because
and if they haven't seen each other, it's great. I love, because I work so hard.
And then you get the flowers and decor. And all the things that you trained on. So I really encourage that. And then also that's the time where we could do the good details without all the guests in there of the reception. So that, and then the final dance. I love that.
I
So
love
we like the final dance
Oh,
and their photograph from a back. You know, we have the around. Oh,
Yeah, that yours is good.
Yes.
With lights in the.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah. Yeah.
Tables might not be pretty, but I've not seen a final dance that has been like, ooh, that looks rough. Like I think photographers really are taking their time to get the last one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So does it drive you crazy if the rest of the vendors are not set up so you can't take those detail shots
Well,
in the because we've talked
That's your
about
planner.
Yeah.
well, it's not always the planner though, is it? Sometimes it's just, you know, somebody's late or we had an incident a few weeks ago where the caterer had been told to show up in time to cater with no thought process to the fact that they were providing all the china. So there was no china on any of the tables. And then when the photographer was trying to take pictures, there's crates of china lined up along the wall, and you think, oh, this is true. So then the photographer was so behind schedule because they needed to get the detail shots and they wanted the venue to look beautiful. It couldn't go.
Yeah.
So the whole wedding was about 45 minutes late.
That happened with the florist, actually. She had asked us to help her. There was flowers everywhere. Windstorm flowers were flying. She did not have anything set up. She was asking us to help her place the table. And I said,
another event.
yeah, she had another event she was rushing to. She was leaving us to help with bouquets, to help tables. And at one point I was like, okay, I am there. I will help you clean your dress. I will help you do the boutonnieres. But however, you're taking away from my time the couple has paid me for. So we ended up leaving, going in the vineyard. I'm like, okay, guys, let's just go out. Someone else will come in and hopefully take over this. But yeah, well, really frustrating.
And on the even if I'm not the planner, because for some people I'm just a florist or just a core, we do set up at 9 a.m. My team will always be out between 12:30 and 1. I don't care if your wedding is at 6 o'clock. Now, if it's flowers outside, sometimes I do negotiate, like we can come back and do the outside, like separate fee later in the day if it's July.
Yes.
Like other than that, it's not an issue. Yeah. So I do have different options, but we set up early. And when I'm the planner, you'll even see on there for photography at 2 or photography at 3, because there's a lot of times they don't get any shots of the reception. Yeah. And so if I'm the planner, I'm like, please give me some pictures of the reception. And I make sure it's ready 2 hours before that ceremony, because if not, and you're running behind getting pictures with the couple, the couple doesn't even get to see all that work. Yeah. So I try to make sure it's in the timeline. As a planner, I want it done by 2 or photography at 3, depending on what time the wedding is, but generally at least 2 hours before. But I even have the cake come at 2 o'clock. Even if it's a 5 o'clock wedding, if I want that photography done by 3. And so I try to do that, like not for the photographer, to make sure all the vendors are set up. And if somebody's running late, I got plenty of cushion time. Yeah. And, it make sure that the couple has everything in their photo album when they're done.
Yeah, I think that comes with years of experience, right? Because you have done this for so long. And that just comes with learning your trade. And if you're hiring, I see that's one thing coming here new. I see a lot of people posting looking for that budget photographer, the budget florist. And that's what happens when you go, oftentimes, not my ways, but that's what happens when you go that direction, because there is something to say about your experience, that you've been there, done that. I mean, at one wedding, the bride forgot her dress 3 towns over.
Oh, no.
And so everything ended up having to be pushed, and you just have to learn to adjust. I mean, granted, wedding day is
stay calm,
right? You never actually know how it's all going to play out. There's going to be medical emergencies or what have you. But the more experience you have, the more you know how to handle those situations.
Well, and one of the things that I even, especially with new vendors that haven't worked with me, when they get that first introductory, I'm not working just for the couple. I'm making sure that every vendor is having success, because if you don't have success, I'm not succeeding, right? If you at the venue, if you're not having success with what I'm providing, then I'm not doing good.
Coming off my
Exactly. That vendor referral list is a good thing.
But it's a thing. So I want to make sure that all the vendors that are on there, if you need a table with a linen, if you're going to have 2 people show for dinner, like, I'm also trying to make sure I'm not here to do your job, but I'm here to make sure you have a great experience and that that I'm thinking about what you need and what she needs and what the caterer needs. So we're all working together, because in the end, that collection, that organization is what gives the couple the experience, right? It's not one vendor being successful, because, one failure, we can maybe hide it.
Yes.
But in a collective, right, in a collective, if we're not all working together to give our couple the best day, then we're not going to succeed. No matter how much one person works, it's like everybody needs to kind of pull in. And so it's a challenge when you meet new vendors. You don't know how they work compared to how you work. And
This is why vendor lists are so important.
vendor lists are important. I agree.
So that everybody
I
can
agree.
nicely together then.
Because not everybody meshes with
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No. So
I have a
occasionally
unique
I'll find
personality.
when I'm meeting couples and I'm like, oh, by the way, if you're interested in my vendor list, I know that this planner or this photographer will mesh really well.
Yeah.
with you. And then, or this one might be better, because you have got to fit with each other, definitely.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about couples who have just been engaged 3 weeks, what's the one thing you wish they knew before they contacted you?
I guess to make sure they have their budget, that they know.
Thank you. That's what I say too.
This budget, right?
Yeah,
Because I mean, I had somebody phoned me recently, and she said, and her only question to me was, so how much do you charge for your venue? And well, that's a bit of a bigger conversation.
Yeah.
And so I gave her a figure for a month that she thought might work for her, and that she wanted to pay less than 1/3 of what we charge.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, my pricing is all online, so they can see that, and it's all very transparent. But she hadn't taken the time to look at that.
Yeah.
But her budget was so unrealistic. She said, well, I love your venue. And I thought, but that's why it costs the way it does, because, and your years of experience and the equipment that you use and the editing experience. I mean, I'm not a photographer. I mean, I look at my phone and think, oh, I even know how to make that look brighter. There's so much knowledge that goes there. That's what they're paying for. They're not just paying for a camera that somebody picked up at the yard sale.
Right.
I can be a photographer today.
Yeah.
And that's what's so important with you. It's all the years of experience to be able to go with the flow.
Yeah.
But I think that probably couples don't necessarily have a realistic idea of budget and value.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what, you can pay, I don't know, $500 for a photographer and get
$500 worth of work.
Yeah.
Or a no-show.
Yeah.
So that's happened too. So here, I'm going to give a shout out to, because I'm horrible on social media too. I mean, I love it. I'm so lucky of getting photographers' beautiful work of my stuff. So I'm so much more improved because I've learned what I need to do as far as getting photo quality. Yeah. Sometimes I have a great iPhone, but doesn't always produce. And she's so phenomenal every day. Bam. Teresa has got on her advertising.
We need to do a class.
And I'm looking at it over coffee. And I'm thinking, I need to do that. Okay, well, I got to go. And, so I don't have the dedication to do daily. I would love to, but I don't. So I'm thinking quality over quantity. That's that's what I'm looking.
Maybe that's what I'll go with. That's fine.
Yes, it is. That's the truth. But I have to shout out to TikTok on this, because there was an irate florist that did a little TikTok, and I was listening to it, and I'm like, right on, girl, you go. Boy, I would love to post this, but maybe I shouldn't. So now I'm going to say it on the podcast, but it was delightful. She's up there with this big, beautiful bouquet, ribbon draping. I had to have been 11 different variety bouquet. Top dollar. Couldn't imagine on California, but an absolutely beautiful bouquet. She goes, oh, you want a discount? Well, let's go down to 3 flowers. She pulls off this satin ribbon, puts it all down, and then she's down to a 3 flowers. She goes, oh, is that too much? 150, you say? Okay, well, let's go down to a 2 variety. But and she's throwing the flowers everywhere. So now she has like carnations and daisies in it. And she said, $75, this is the bouquet for you. She goes, but I have ribbon. And she just pulls out regular satin, wraps it around, ties it in a knot. And she said, thank you. Thank you so much for choosing me. And see, that's something I say all the time. Like, thank you for choosing it. And I went, had anyone ever thought, when you're asking for a discount, are you asking for a discount in quality?
Yes.
because she said that was the whole thing is I don't do discounts, and this is why.
Yeah.
Because you're asking for a $75 bouquet, not my $425 bouquet.
So I guess
Like, we want that, but this is what you can get.
Take away the chairs, then you can also
She was flying the
turn the
flowers.
lights off and the air conditioning.
Right. And it's that way with photography. Like,
Yeah.
do you want an iPhone? Because I know that right now is very big having the social media photography, and they are around $500. And I'm having a lot of couples saying, "Oh, I'm doing that. And I'm like, "But how about this great photography? Like, is that just a quicker? Because, is it instant gratification that you're paying for? Because do you want you in your dress, and then these amazing photos come in a few weeks, and you're like, oh, that's."
Yeah.
So I'm a little confused. I'm not sure if I'm on the trend. I'm kind of like, for me, quality over quantity. I mean, I preach that all the time. So I would want those amazing shots versus a whole bunch. But I don't know. I'm open to it. I mean, I've had like 3 brides do the social media package, and it's quick and it's fast and it's out there. And I'm not saying that it's bad work. I mean, I do some pretty shots on my iPhone. And I have the new Pro.
they're not what you're going to want to look at in 25 years, or they will.
But they're paying $500.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yes, but wouldn't you rather have the 500 for a second shooter and the camera photos and put that in your budget to get?
I don't even do daily shots for social media. I feel, like I said, I would much rather wait for that photographer to send me like beautiful, beautiful shot of the bride with the bouquet and me share that than the 15 I took in front of my brick wall. Like, I used to do that, and I'm learning that, I want people to see the best work. And so I would wait and get the best
When I do
view
social
of me.
media, I don't post. I mean, obviously, every week when we go into the venue and I want to see what it looks like, and say, oh, it's so beautiful. I don't post any of that because I'm not a good enough photographer, even though it's only for social media.
Yeah.
I don't want to put that out there because it doesn't show off my venue.
Right.
At the standard that I want it shown off to. But occasionally I might do a quick video of the patio and say,
Story or something.
day today, what's it?
But and I do make my own reels. I do.
Yeah.
But if I, as a bride, I'm just thinking, as a bride, like, what would it be worth to have the fun, quick little Snapchats for 500, or would I rather put 500 more in my photography?
I mean, if you've got a spot, you're not going to get that.
you're not.
Out, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, like I don't even do sneak peeks anymore because I I know.
Oh no, I love sneak peeks.
I know, but how might you turn your? So my goal is to have them by the 1 month anniversary, the whole wedding gallery. So like during peak season for me, that's
A lot of work.
A lot of work. So my goal is with my editing flow is how I work is I just start to finish and I'm going to get them done and bust them out for you. But I edit each picture by hand. So it interrupts my flow, my editing flow by doing sneak peeks. And I feel like also once I've had more time to sit and look and figure out the feel of the day and the moment, it maybe edit a little different than the same one if I'm going to go home from the wedding and edit it that evening. So we actually...
Well, as a florist, I want them... I love sneak peeks. I just love sneak peeks.
So
all the hard work of the day. Yeah.
Are you a photographer who likes to share with other vendors your photographs, or do you just share with your bride and groom?
Oh, I'm all about sharing for sure, especially after all their hard work.
You
We all work together.
You get a mixed bunch. I mean, I would say
It's like 50-50.
I have some photographers who share everything. That's amazing. And then I have some weddings, I never see a photo. Oh, wow. It stresses me out so much because I want to share. I want to, not just for social media, but as a venue, we're not there on the day of, as in we're there. Yeah. We're not in their way. Yeah. So we never see the bride looking beautiful. Ian quite often goes up in the evening and he'll see them, but they've had a drink by then. Yeah. Not, I could say, so I miss all of it. Yeah. I just love so much to get those photographs back from the photographer a few weeks later. So from any other photographers listening to the podcast, share your photos.
Yeah, please share your photos.
I mean, not only is it great for us,
but tag you.
We do want to get to know our other photographers and see how they work and see whether they play nicely. And we want to build our list of preferred vendors. So if they share and
like almost a community.
So
It is.
And different photographers she referred to who wasn't available. She had a very strong sense of community and
it's for me it's really important. And I do see my brides looking adorable as they walk down the aisle. So if it's not the vendor shot.
Okay, I'll make sure I'll share it. That one out.
Perhaps that's a little good.
Well, I am going to stop today's podcast. We'll be on here for another hour.
Yes.
And it was great you two came to visit. We hope we really appreciate it. Well, we want you to come back.
Come back. More about social.
Yeah, that will be the next one. So, thank you so much for listening to our podcast. And don't forget to like, share, and follow. Bye.
Bye.